The Flight of Five. In a serene valley cradled by majestic mountains, 5 birds gathered every year for a remarkable journey. Each bird was unique, with its own story, strength, and challenge to overcome. The leader of the flock was Sky, a powerful eagle with wings that cut through the air like a blade. She was strong and bold, but her confidence was shaken after a storm had once torn her feathers and brought her to the ground. Now, every gust of wind reminded her of that terrifying fall. Beside her was Whisper, a swift swallow with feathers the color of twilight. Whisper had the heart of a warrior, but the voice of a timid soul. Her challenge was the constant struggle to find the courage to speak her truth in a world that often silenced her gentle voice. Then there was Ember, a fiery red cardinal with a spirit as fierce as her plumage. She was always the first to act and the last to give up, but her temper sometimes got the better of her, leading her into dangerous situations. Close by was Frost, a dove as white as the first snow. Frost was gentle and wise, but her greatest challenge was the fear of letting go. She clung too tightly to the past, afraid that if she did, she might lose herself. Finally, there was Shadow, a mysterious raven whose dark feathers shimmered with hints of blue. Shadow was intelligent and resourceful, but his challenge was his solitude. He preferred to solve problems alone, afraid that leaning on others would make him weak. As the time for their annual migration approached, the birds knew they would face trials that would test their limits. This year's journey was said to be the most difficult yet, with winds stronger than ever before, mountains taller, and storms more ferocious. Sky led the way, her wings trembling slightly as she rose into the sky. The memory of her fall haunted her, but she pushed forward, determined to not let fear ground her. The others followed, each carrying their own burdens. As they soared through the first mountain range, a powerful wind swept in. Sky's heart raced, but Whisper flew close, her presence steadying Sky's nerves. Whisper knew what it was like to be afraid, and in that moment, she found the courage to speak, calming Sky with soft, reassuring words. The flock continued, but soon Ember's temper flared when a storm cloud began to form. She charged ahead, ready to confront the storm head-on. But it was Frost who gently guided her back, reminding Ember that sometimes patience and calm were more powerful than force. As they neared the highest peak, Shadow spotted a dangerous pass that could cut their journey time in half. He planned to take it alone, but Sky, noticing his hesitation, called out to him. For the first time, Shadow hesitated and then joined the flock instead of going solo. Together, they navigated the treacherous pass, each bird supporting the other, their combined strength leading them through safely. The final challenge came as they neared their destination, a vast desert with no end in sight. Frost, who had always feared the unknown, began to falter. But Sky, Whisper, Ember, and Shadow rallied around her, reminding her that the future was built by those who dared to let go of the past. In a final burst of collective strength, the 5 birds soared across the desert, their hearts lightened by the bonds they had forged through their struggles. Each bird had faced their greatest fears, and in doing so, had grown stronger. They arrived at their destination as the sun set, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. The journey had tested them, but they had overcome every challenge by relying on each other. And so, in the quiet of the evening, the 5 birds, Sky, Whisper, Ember, Frost, and Shadow rested, knowing that they had conquered not just the sky, but the doubts and fears within themselves. They understood that their true strength lay not in their individual abilities, but in their unity, their willingness to face challenges together, and the courage to keep flying, no matter how daunting the journey ahead might be. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the final volume of Soulful Sounds and Inspiration. We hope these stories have touched your heart, uplifted your spirit, and reminded you of the strength that lies within. As we close this chapter, remember that the challenges you face are simply stepping stones on your path to greatness. Keep soaring high and never stop believing in the power of your own wings. Until next time, stay inspired and keep the music alive in your soul.